like that. So the agenda today is packed, okay? We got to tell you that because we're honoring school schedules, we have to be done by 2:30. We've got a lot of material to cover. We ask everybody to be really mindful of the time because it takes a while to move back and forth and have a large group move around. So just pay attention to that. Am I missing anything? Did I cover it all? Because I would like to introduce Jesse. Jesse's our first speaker today, and he's been speaking with the York Region Tammy Coalition for the past 3 years since we started up. Jesse's also a peer support worker for the COPE program at the Canadian Mental Health Association, and he's also been featured on some documentaries, etc., etc. But anyway, you'll hear more from Jesse, and we'll hopefully have a bit of time to have questions for Jesse when he's done. So Jesse, please, welcome.
Can everybody, you know what, I'm going to put this microphone aside. And if you can't hear me, please raise your hand. Okay. So how's everybody doing today?
No.
Good? Early in the morning, I'll get your coffee.
Jesse, do you mind using the mic, or is it?
Jesse, could you help me use one of these? Jesse? You can actually use one of these if that helps you.
No, I can use the mic if I'll fulfill your wish there, Brent.
Merci beaucoup.
Anyway, so I'll get right into it. I'm here to tell you my personal story, my personal struggle and perseverance and conquering of a illness called schizophrenia. Now, I remember when I first was diagnosed with schizophrenia, I probably never even heard the word before, and it kind of sent a shiver up my spine to hear that word. So I like to use the word schizophrenia, yes, schizophrenia, yes, schizophrenia, so many times that it doesn't give you a chill up your spine anymore. Now, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia in 1999, and this was around the same time I was graduating high school. And I barely graduated. My marks were horrible. I was doing a lot of street drugs. In fact, when I first developed schizophrenia, I was misdiagnosed, having drug-induced psychosis, right? Now, psychosis is a break from reality, right? You're having something, maybe delusions, maybe hallucinations in your mind apart from the reality around you. And psychosis is the main component to schizophrenia. Now, my illness is very religious. I wasn't raised religiously, but my religion is having to do with the devil and God, and a lot of things to do with that. Before schizophrenia hit me, I was a quote-unquote normal kid. I had played many different sports. I was a singer in a couple of different rock bands. I had a lot of girlfriends. Life was good. But then my life started to spiral into worse and worse. And eventually I developed schizophrenia. Schizophrenia doesn't come on just overnight. It's a gradual process. And unfortunately, the beginning stages of schizophrenia often look like normal teenage behavior, right? Maybe you're having mood swings, your marks are slipping, you may be isolating yourself, you may be doing a number of different things. Now, one of the first things that I went through that was the beginning of schizophrenia is I became paranoid. And one example of me being paranoid is I would be in the schoolyard and there'd be a group of students over here talking and laughing, and I thought they were laughing at me, right? So slight paranoia. Later, I had full-on psychosis. I was hearing voices. I had a lot of different bizarre notions. I believed I was communicating God, and I believed that the devil was trying to train me to find good souls for him. I had developed this idea that the devil is represented by the left hand and God is represented by the left. So I had this idea that if people were working with their hands, if they finish with their left hand, they're doing work for the devil. If they finish with their right hand, they're doing work for God. So I was fixated on people's hands. And I believe that if I put my left hand on my face and somebody's left hand jumps, they're with the devil. If I put my right hand on my face and somebody's right hand jumps, then they're with God. So I was fixating on people's hands. People's hands on TV, you know, like actors or journalists on TV, I would concentrate on their hands. I started hearing voices. And the best way I can describe what it's like to hear voices is I have my regular thought process in my mind as my own voice, right? So everybody has that regular thought process. But when I became psychotic, I had additional voice on the left side, which was a commanding, destructive male voice that I believe was the devil. And on the right side, I would hear a very calming, soothing female voice that I believe was the Virgin Mary, right? So this was happening, and when you're hearing these voices, it's very hard to hold a conversation, right? So I would be trying, while I was hearing the voice, I'd be having a conversation, and it was hard to follow what the other person is saying. It may look like somebody's not paying attention to you and disrespecting you, right? But that's not what it is. It's a lack of, being able to hear the conversation anymore. There was a lot of other bizarre things that happened to me. In keeping with the voices, I live in Toronto, so I take the TTC, I take the train everywhere in Toronto. And when I was psychotic, I would look at somebody on the train, and it's as if I could hear their voice in my mind. And so, and a couple of times, I would be on the train and look at somebody, and I hear in my mind, kill all these people and then kill yourself, right? Which was the scariest thing I ever had to deal with. I mean, unfortunately, like me, I have a strong will, I have a strong mind, I would never carry through with that. But it has happened. There was, did everybody hear about that? I forget his last name, but the guy in the prairies who chopped somebody's head off on the bus? Did everybody hear that one? Unfortunately, it's usually the bad stories that make it into the media, right? Most people with mental illness are most likely to commit suicide or harm themselves rather than somebody else. So they won't be the aggressor usually, they'll usually be the victim. Other things that was happening to me, like when I was with two people, I believe that one person was the devil and one person was God. So if I was with my parents, my dad would be the devil and my mom would be God, and I would only talk to my mom. For a long time, I only talked to my mom. When all this started to happen, my friends completely disappeared, because I was totally out of it. And my parents and my sister were the only kind of human contact I had at the time. I started to, believe things like there'd be two black crows in the trees in our backyard, and I believe they were the devil's bird watching me. I believe that the devil was trying to keep humanity in check by all the technology we use now. One time I went to my parents' bedroom and my dad's lips were moving, and I believe that it was the devil reciting satanic verses out of his mouth. I would watch TV, and the actor's left eye, to me, would look all black, and I believe that it was the devil staring at me through the TV.